Hello, everybody, and welcome to Philip's Backyard, where we're exploring the heavens above and taking a look at the science here on the ground. My name's Philip, and thanks for joining me. Today, we're going to be talking about our nearest intergalactic neighbor, the Andromeda Galaxy, and then we're going to go and try to take a photo of it out in the backyard. So, this is a pretty typical image of the Andromeda Galaxy. You can see its satellite galaxies M32 above and M110 below, and this is the closest galaxy to us here in the Milky Way. It's only about 2.5 million light years away from us here on Earth. It's estimated to contain around 1 trillion stars. Now that makes it 25 to 50% larger than our own galaxy. This image was taken here on Earth out in the Negev Desert with some pretty high-end equipment. Now this is the largest Hubble Space Telescope image ever assembled. It's about a 61,000 light year long stretch of the galactic disk of Andromeda. This image alone contains over 100 million stars, and each pixel of light you see is a different star. Now, this is a panorama image that's a product of the FAT, or Panchromatic Hubble Andromeda Treasury Program. It's a mosaic image made up of 7,398 individual exposures taken over 411 individual pointings of the Hubble. This photo uses images in the near ultraviolet, visible, and near infrared wavelengths. The original image contained over 1.5 billion pixels. That's over 600 HD TV screens in order to display them all. The original file size was over 4 gigabytes. Now that's a really big picture. So for the images that I'm taking out in the backyard, I'm using a standard Canon DSLR. This is a Rebel T4i, also known as the Canon EOS 650D, and a standard EFS 55 to 250 millimeter lens. Now I will admit, this almost didn't work. I had my camera on top of my Celestron Nexstar 6SE telescope. This telescope has a computerized go-to mount. Once you get it set up, you select the item that you want to track from the database, you press go, and it will center and track your object over time. However, when you're doing long exposures like this type of mount does not prevent the stars from getting spinny. So we ended up with some pretty cool images like this. So you can see at the center, you got what is the galactic core and all the other images spinning around. And that's the rotation of the Earth in relation to the sky above. Now, if this is the kind of image that you're going for, that's pretty cool, but that's not what we were after tonight. Now, also, every once in a while, you do get some really cool images. This one here, more than likely was a plane, but I'm going to say that we actually got a shooting star on camera. Now, those were raw images, no processing done on them at all, taken directly from the camera and just saved in a different file format so it's more usable for putting up on YouTube. So after going through all the photos that I took, I was able to take the best 25 images that were okay. This gives me a total exposure time on Andromeda of 75 minutes. I then take some calibration photos and then use what is known as a stacking program. So that looks at all the images, finds out where the positions of the stars are, and then proceeds to stack all of that photographic data on top of each other. So then you get a photo that kind of looks like this. So here on the outside edges, you can see the different shades of light, and that's different photos being stacked and rotated on top of each other. So after taking this image, doing some processing in Photoshop and some other tweaks and twangs, I finally ended up with an image like this. Now, you can still see I've got some streaking around the outside edges. You can start to make out the actual galaxy itself. You can see the M110 down below it, the M32 up above it. So all in all, for my third time out, I think it actually came out pretty good. So I've got to say, for a camera that's 10 plus years old now, it's not a bad start. It's my third time actually taking pictures, and my first time actually getting something usable out of it. So that's it for tonight, folks. But if you had a good time or learned something or just had plain fun, please click that like and subscribe button below so you get to know when the next project's coming out. Also, please check out the links in this description below. I'm going to have more detail on the other images that, I used in this video. Once again, this is Philip from my backyard, wishing you clear skies.